This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk 106.7 FM and iTalk1067.com. Also brought to you in part by Northland Pioneer College, Ace Hardware of the White Mountains, Deemer's Glass, Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint, Summit Healthcare Regional Medical Center, Horn Auto Center, Honda Ski and Outdoor Sports, and Comfort Fit Dentures. And now, Sholo Ford presents high school basketball on iTalk 106.7 and worldwide on iTalk1067.com.
A very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com as we're here tonight to watch the Snowflake Lobos host the Coolidge Bears, traveling up Highway 60 from the central part of the state to take on these Snowflake Lobos. I'm Aaron Hewish. I'm joined tonight by Coach Mike Brogan, who is just victorious, his Lady Lobos over the Lady Bears in a very, very tight ending to a ball game. We're going to start off with our Summit Healthcare Regional Medical Center pregame report. Summit Regional Medical Center is everything to get your athlete back in the game. And as far as I know, Coach Brogan, we don't have many injuries tonight to report for either team.
Yeah, there's nothing that I'm aware of. I think I know Braden Westover's got a thumb problem that from football. I think that's the only one I know from the Snowflake side.
And as far as we know, none of the Bears are injured. The Bears did bring quite a squad tonight. Their Max Preps roster has quite a few listed, where the Snowflake Lobos are just juniors and seniors. And they're 10 strong. So we're going to go over to our Ace Hardware Keys to the Game. Ace Hardware has a 24/7 locksmith. The next time you're locked out of your car and just need a key replaced any hour, day, or night, call Ace Hardware at Pine Top, Overguard, and Sholo. Coach Brogan, keys to the game early in the season.
Yeah, so when you're looking at a game like this, especially with it being early, execution is always a key. So who can run their offenses, who can handle the assignments, things like that. Snowflake especially is coming in with basically 1 week of practice off of, from football, and even that's kind of limited because they played a game on Tuesday night. So Coolidge is a really good squad. I'll be really interested to see, how Snowflake can handle, a team that's talented, that's been preparing for a couple of weeks.
Well, and this Coolidge Bear team is not a pushover, as we've seen their record and we've seen what they've done. I will say, and I said this the other night in our broadcast, I saw a few years ago where St. John's played a state championship game on Saturday or Friday, and they came here on Tuesday, probably passed out uniforms for half a practice and absolutely pummeled the Snowflake Lobos. This has been about 15 years ago. So how much adrenaline are they going to ride from that football season?
One of my years in Benson, we had a state championship game on Saturday, and we played a football game on Monday. So we went with no practices. We committed 48 fouls in that game, so we were still tackling people.
Well, this is time for our Northland Pioneer College tip-off. When it comes time to tip off your college education, tip it off the college with the lowest tuition in the state. That's Northland Pioneer College, locations in Navajo and Apache County. As Coeur, Clare, Oberg, Irvin, and Brewer top it off. And we had a
real good post entry in there to Brock Irvin. Really good post. They had a really good, reversal of the ball, and Brock was able to get position and score that.
As that's the first 2 points for the Lobos, as the Lobos already have a little bit of a turnover, although not a bad turnover because they didn't allow the Coolidge Bears a shot. As the Bears start with two kids named D's. We have number 10, Dixon Wright. We're just probably going to refer to him as Dixon because it's quick. Number 23, Corbin Downs. Number 42, Adarius Miguel. And then Downs and Downs, as that's going to be Dixon Wright on the far side. He comes to the middle, he drives, kicks it out to number 42, and that's going to be a shot clock violation. Now, Coach Brogan, my understanding is the shot clock is mandatory at 3A, but optional at 1A and 2A.
So this year it's optional at 2A, but it's a state requirement. So you don't have to play with it, but if you want to host a state game, you have to have it.
So as Core is going to put up a three-point shot, Aiden Core for three. And that is a Comfort Fit Dentures three-pointer. So the Coolidge Bears getting a shot clock violation there is nothing out of the ordinary. They should be playing with the shot clock all year.
Yeah, that's not new to us. It's not. We've been playing with the shot clok for about 5 years now.
Yes, so. I remember that. As number 42, Miguel drives. He's going to put it in. That's going to be good for Miguel. First 2 points for the Bears. And Lobos are going to bring it forward. That's going to be a pass to Brewer. Brewer's going to have it knocked away, controlled by the Bears. Forward pass to Downs. Downs puts it up, and that's going to be good for Downs and the Bears right back in this game. As number 23, that's going to be Merrick Oberg brings the ball forward. He sends it over to Claire. Claire doing most of the ball handling duties. Claire at the top of the key, over to Oberg. Oberg inside to Brewer, and that's where the Lobos want to get the ball. Is they want to seem like the first little bit, they want to push it into Brewer. As that's going to be 42, Miguel, he's going to miss. Your thoughts on the big men and what the Lobos are playing here? Because it looks like to me they're going with quite a bit of a transition game as Brewer puts it up and in for 2.
Yeah, I think that's definitely one of the strengths of the Snowflake team is their speed, their length, and they run the floor really, really well. And so that's going to be how they're going to get some easy baskets this year.
Now the transition game, to me, that's when a coach says, okay, we're not necessarily the best shooters. We're not necessarily even the fastest, but we're going to run you to death and we're going to take every advantage. However, it lends itself to some turnovers.
No, that's right, and it's usually good for teams that are really athletic, 1 through 5, right? Typically, the faster your post players are, the more you want to get out and run.
So the Lobos looking forward to try to push that ball every time, and that's only going to get better as the year goes on.
Right. You got to think that they've basically had 2 practices and a game together this year, and so some of these turnovers are going to probably have a little more than what you'd be expecting early on. But
there's the Bears inbound the ball to Dees. He sends it back to Dixon Wright, and that's going to be Gulston dribbling. Outside shot from number 23, Downs, no good. And here come the Lobos, and that's Oberg. Oberg to Brewer. Brewer, that's going to be an easy bucket for Brewer, as we're going to get a whistle and we're going to get a timeout. As we're going to get a timeout by the Bears, we're going to go ahead and take it to the Shola Forge presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com.
Oh, it's a little.
Want the best deal on your new car, truck, van, or SUV? Go to Sholo Ford. Sholo Ford has the best deals. Not only does Sholo Ford sell the #1 truck in America, Guy Hatch guarantees you won't find a better deal on that truck anywhere else. Sholo Ford sells the best at the best price. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at SholoFord.com.
Let Nicole penetrate, dish it to Raya, dish it to Renee. Welcome back to Shola Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com. As the Bears quick timeout, as they're going to inbound the ball, and that's going to be Golston with the ball. Long court pass, and that's going to be a block foul on, I believe that's going to be on Irvin, and that's going to put up the team foul total to 2, and that was Dixon Wright. That's Kelshawn Dixon Wright with the ball. I'm Aaron Hughes, joined by Mike Brogan, Coach Mike Brogan of the Lady Lobos, as that's going to be knocked away, and that's going to be a turnover for the Bears. Here comes Oberg. Oberg, dribble, looking. He dishes it. We're going to get a whistle, and we're going to get a foul. That foul's going to go on the ground as referee Quinn Ashton says no shot on the bounce, so that's going to be ball out for the Snowflake Lobos. Core to inbound. Core all the way to the top to Oberg. As Oberg looks over to Landon Clare. Landon Clare, the junior. Inside to Brewer. Brewer's going to put up a 3. That's going to be no good. Rebound Irvin. As they're going to get a whistle and we're going to get a foul, and that's going to be out of bounds, and that's going to... Are they going to call that on 42? No, that is going to be on 23. The foul is going to be on Downs. That's going to be his first personal, second team. And that's going to be Coor inbound to Oberg. Oberg, no good. Brewer almost had a tip on it. That's going to be whistled as a out of bounds, and that's going to go to the Bears as number 52, Porter Dees, checks in. There's Porter and Preston Dees for the Coolidge Bears. The Coolidge Bears adorning their blue uniforms trimmed in white. I believe it says Bears on the front and family on the back. Lobos wearing their home whites. their blue lettering, blue numbering, trimmed in black. As we're coming to you live from the Den at Snowflake High School, Shola Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com. As Tori Golston with the ball, over to Dixon Wright. Dixon Wright guarded by Claire. And that's going to be a intercepted ball by Irvin. Irvin dribbles it down, looking good. And we're going to get a whistle. We're going to get a blocking foul on the Coolidge Bears. And Coach Brogan, can you explain how the charge has come to evolve in the last, I know it evolved in the NBA about 30 years ago, but how it's evolved in the last 15 years in high school?
Yeah, and most of that's that the game has changed with the three-point line. That's kind of a weird thing to say, but the three-point line has kind of spread the floor out, and so now there's more space for people to drive. And now that there's more drives happening, it's awfully hard to guard them off the dribble. Your help defense steps in, and that's where your charges should come in most of the time. And so I think with the game kind of changing how it's being played, that's brought that block charge into the game a lot more.
As Irvin goes 1 for 2 at the line. Now in the NBA, they even have the circle underneath, the half circle, and I believe in college game they have that now.
Yeah, and I don't think it's probably long before it's going to be in the high school boys game. A lot of that's for safety because you got kids that are so athletic that are attacking the basket from 20, 15 feet out, getting full heads of steam, and they want them to make sure they have a safe place to land once they get up in the air.
Well, I've also noticed that everything trickles down in almost every sport. That's from baseball to, as that's going to be up and in, that's going to go to number 50, Preston Dees, for 2 points. And what I've noticed in baseball is you now have the pitch clock in high school. It's not visible, and you have the safety rules, the defenseless receiver, and all that as the Lobos come up short there. And in basketball, there's the same thing too. And I agree with you. I don't think it's going to be long. They'll probably give a 5-year period. As that's going to be a whistle. We're going to get a foul, and we're going to get an offensive foul. Now, Coach Brogan, I have to ask you, for those of us that watched, the Bears in the first half in your game had a very inordinate number of offensive fouls. Now, in my vantage point, I have the vantage point of replay from our great camera crew. It looked like they were coming in really hard with that elbow.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, and we had actually prepared for that. We had let our girls know they drive the ball real hard. They're real physical, real aggressive. And so that was kind of our game plan, to kind of stand in there and take it a little bit, right? And I thought our girls did a great job in the first half of that.
As Oberg goes in and misses it, Brewer gets it, Brewer misses it, Brewer grabs his own rebound. Now he's going to go down and he's going to be fouled on the ground, and that's going to go against Porter Dees. That's going to be his first. No. We have
jump ball.
They called a jump ball. So Coolidge still with 4 team fouls, so the next one we're in the bonus, and Snowflake with 2 team fouls as Golston guarded by Kaur, and Golston put a move on Kaur and puts it up and in for 2, and that's going to narrow the Lobo lead to 2 as Claire brings across the ball over the time stripe. Over to Merrick Oberg. Oberg now inside to Brewer. Brewer wide open shot, reverse layup. That's going to be good, Asher Brewer, for his 6th point of the night.
He had a really good job there screening on the backside of the play and screening Brewer to the ball. Really good find and a good finish.
Looks to me, Coach Brogan, like some of these Coolidge players probably very athletically play multiple sports, but they have size and they have speed. These big men for them are moving very well.
Yeah, and I think you can see their football team was pretty competitive this year, better than they've been in the past, especially. But
were they? I think they were 0-10.
Oh, no, I'm thinking of Florence. I'm sorry. So maybe these kids aren't playing multiple sports because they look like they got a good offensive line set out there on their post players.
I know because I followed them a little bit. Because here we go, as Oberg's going to put it up and in. That's going to be no good. As I think they struggle.
No, they did. You're right. It was
I'm not
Florence.
positive.
It was Florence who played well, and Coolidge. I think Coolidge was 0 for the season.
That's like missing. You realize you're mixing Florence up with Coolidge. That's like
mixing
Benson Snowflake and Sholo, or Benson Wilcox, or Winslow Holbrook, or Ray Hayden. Some of those good old rivalries. I remember my sweet dear mother talking about the Benson Wilcox rivalry in the '60s, and I mean, she talking about how they would take diesel fuel over to Wilcox and put a W in the field and kill the field for years to come. And I just, my goodness.
We may or may not have flooded a locker room or 2 in my day. I don't know.
Coach Brogan. Statute of limitations as Lobos. Right. Oberg comes up 0 on his free throws there. That's going to be Golston. Golston's going to drive it in, and Golston with a hot hand for the Bears right now as Claire now gets the ball over the time side. Claire over to Gian Jones. Gian Jones for 3. And that's Coach, that doesn't count because he didn't call
That's
that.
right. That's right.
As Gian Jones puts in a Comfort Fit Dentures 3-point shot, but that was a beautiful kiss off the rim and now gives the Lobos a 15-10 lead.
Well, and what you do like is that he caught that thing, shot it confidently, no hesitation and things like that. And so, when you do things the right way, sometimes maybe you get the right result, even though, it may not look as pretty as what you wanted it to. But
here's Golston with the ball. Golston inside to Dees. Dees puts the ball on the floor, guarded by Irvin. That's going to be no. We're going to be whistled, and he's not going to be whistled. I thought they were going to call an offensive foul, but that's going to be a travel. And watch the replay here. Oh, wow, he did. He crossed over and took that stutter step.
That's a
great
really
pickup by the official.
Yeah, that's a really good catch by the official.
Here's Claire over to Gian Jones. Gian Jones with that 3-point shot. Over to Brewer. Brewer now on the far side to Claire. Claire looking inside to Jones. Jones reverse. That's going to be good for Gian Jones for 2 points. And Snowflake 17-10 with 37 seconds left. And this has been a very fast first quarter for both teams.
Yeah, they're doing it.
Dixon right out to Golston.
So, yeah, they're doing a great job bringing that backside cutter to the ball, whether they're screening him free or he's just cutting and reading it real well. And they're getting a lot of points right at the front of the rim.
Well, that's going to be an inbound ball to Dees, and Dees is going to put it up, and he's going to be fouled. And we're going to see who they credit that foul to. I think that's going to be on Oberg, and that's going to be his second. And that's going to force Coach Claire to probably have to take a look at the depth on his bench because Oberg being a starter for him.
Yeah,
as Dees is going to come to the line.
Yeah, and that's the old help the helper on the defensive that they'll get better when they have time to rep that out. So you go over and double when that post player comes free. That backside guard's got to get under that post player that you left, and he was just a half a step.
And we actually saw that in your game, and it was, and I don't want to say it in a negative way as Dees makes his second free throw, is Kennedy Stewart missed that opportunity, and she could have come over and shut that lane down because I saw you talking to her, and I knew exactly what you were saying is you've got to work on that daily in practice.
Yeah, and that's something that just takes some time.
And we're very early in the season here as Lobos have the ball, 17-11, 16 seconds left. Shot clock is off. As there goes Claire to Jones. Jones is going to drive free throw line. No, we're going to get a whistle. We're going to get a foul. That's going to be the fifth foul. So Gian Jones is going to go to the line and shoot a couple here with 7 seconds left in the first quarter. Lobos up 17-11.
Yeah, and that's a little frustrating as a coach because it's kind of a ticky-tack. I mean, I know it's probably by the rule book it's a foul, but you end up getting two free throws just because you put your hand on a driving player. It's sometimes as a coach that one's a little hard to swallow. But
I always think when the shot clock's off and they have possession running down, you don't want to commit something, but that made it worth it right there as Gian Jones misses it.
I think that's right, and that's what you'd coach. We coach slide your feet, move in front, try to make the defender change direction or the offensive player change directions. We're not really wanting to get our hands in there.
As Gion's going to miss both of them, and I got to think that as much as the football players are a little out of basketball shape, they do having a little bit of a rough time with those free throws. That's going to end. We're going to end this first quarter with the Lobos up 17-11. We'll be back in a bit. This is Shola Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk 106.7.
When you think glass, think Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Deemer's Glass offers the best selection of quality glass with affordable prices. They do full home window packages, replacement windows, custom shower doors and enclosures, custom mirrors in many shapes, styles, and colors, glass doors and hardware, commercial glass for buildings and offices, skylights, screens, fire-rated glass for your fireplace or stove, window film, and more. Visit Deemer's Glass today on Porter Mountain Road in Lakeside or call 1-888-GLASSMAN.
You've been there, waiting forever at the gas station for the guy to free up so he can fill up your propane tank. Or worse, when the only qualified propane technician decided to stay home that day. Yep, you've been there and I have too. That's why now I get my propane from Ace Hardware every time. You get Ace Hardware's world-famous customer service when you stop in for propane. That's right, you get in, you get out, and you get a great deal on propane and everything else. From Ace Hardware at their locations in Pine Top and Heber. Ace Hardware is proud to support White Mountain Sports.
Welcome back. Shola Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com as the alternating possession is going to favor the Snowflake Lobos after the jump ball in the middle of the first quarter. So that's going to bring Claire to inbound the ball. Claire, Jones, Smith, Irvin, and Brewer. As Jones brings the ball, he's now at the top of the key over to the far near side, to Claire. Over to Smith. Smith back to Jones, top of the key inside to Brewer. There's Claire. Looking, now gives it back to Jones, top of the key. Jones, long three-pointer. That's going to be no good. Rebound is going to go to the Bears. That's going to be Porter D's number 52. And that's going to be thrown forward, intended for Dixon Wright, and Claire's going to knock that out of bounds. And the Bears will maintain it with 30 seconds on the shot clock. Here's Golston, inbounds to Dixon Wright. Dixon Wright guarded by Smith. Now he goes to his left, has a chance in the key. Over to 42, Miguel. No good. Back out to Dixon Wright. We're going to get a whistle, and we're going to get a carry. And that's almost what I like to call splitting hairs, but I think the officials saw it a little bit different. And sometimes those guys, they have that hesitation, and they get that hand just a bit too far up on that ball, and that's where it's called. Lobos inbound Brewer. Brewer to Claire. Claire crosses over the time stripe. Over to Smith. Smith now goes to his right over on the far side in front of the Coolidge bench. Back to Jones. Jones inside to Brewer. Brewer loses it, gathers it back in, takes a dribble, spins, kicks it out to Jones. Jones, 18-foot jumper, good. Gian Jones.
Yeah, just really good athleticism. Oh, Landon Clare with a steal in the backcourt and a three.
Landon Clare with a steal and a three-point shot. And we're going to get a timeout by the Coolidge Bear, up 19-11. We're going to go ahead and take it to the show. That is a Comfort Fit Dentures three-pointer. As we segue to Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. Arno. I might not be comfortable on the basketball court, but I promise, at Comfort Fit Dentures, you'll feel comfortable, always.
Comfort Fit Dentures has dentures starting at $499 with payment plans, and they have 2 labs, meaning you get your dentures in days instead of weeks. Call Comfort Fit Dentures today to schedule a free exam and x-ray. 928-888-0002. 928-888-0002.
Want to go skiing or snowboarding? Visit our friendly Honda Outdoor Sports. We offer skis, snowboards, and helmet rentals, custom footbeds, ski and snowboard repairs, as well as retail shopping for your snow gear, goggles, beanies, snow tubing, and even ice fishing supplies. We have all you need to prepare you for the outdoors. We welcome you to Honda Outdoor Sports, located 1 mile west of the casino.
Welcome back. Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com as the Bears taking a timeout, their second timeout of the half, as we look at Golston with the ball. Golston over on the far side to number 20. That is Bajorquez. And that's going to be knocked out of bounds, and that's going to belong to the Lobos. The Bears come into this game with a tournament that they hosted, and in that tournament, it looks like they went like 6-1. And the final game they lost was the Casa Grande 49-47. Then they went to Tanque Verde and beat Tanque Verde 73-62. So they've got a lot of games under their belt. And when you look at the teams coach that they played, Santa Cruz, CDO, Amphi, ALA Anthem South, Globe, Catalina, I don't know how much the competition was there, but they're still winning games.
Well, and especially when you look at playing, one of those games they played 4 days. One of those days they played 4 games. The other day they played 3, and so certainly you get fatigue's got to figure into that stuff, and so you get a lot of minutes. You wonder what the quality is like, though, after. That's a lot of basketball for a young man to be playing.
Well, and you look at it, too, and the Lobos have 3 practices, and they're on their second game in 3 practices together, and they're still only 10 deep on their roster as Claire puts up another 3-point shot, and that is going to be a Comfort Fit Dentures 3-point shot for Landon Clare. And I don't know, I've always been a big fan of winning breeds winning. And when you go from one sport to the other, if you're successful, as Irvin gets the rebound, sends it over to Claire. As we come down here.
Yeah, good drive there by Landon to get himself fouled and get himself to the free throw line.
Landon Clare goes to the line. He's going to shoot a couple.
I think they had to have gotten 50 on that foul, I would assume.
It's 50, and it's his first personal.
And so when you get into tournaments, too, a lot of times early season, you're still trying to figure out your sub patterns. You're trying to do a lot of things like that as well. So, it's really hard to get anything when you're looking at scores from tournament games because you just don't know how everybody coached it.
Well, you don't know if you're there to your sub pattern, like you said, as Landon Clare's going to make his second one, and we have number 32, Cody Flake, checking in the game. And I'm curious to see how Cody adjusts this. He hasn't played basketball in a couple of years, but he's going to feed off as we're going to get a whistle and we're going to get a push, and I believe that's going to be on Cody Flake, as somebody might need to remind Cody that he's not playing offensive tackle tonight.
No,
but that's
right.
okay.
Some of those you're okay with hands in football. Basketball, not so much, right, when you're playing defense.
I'm just glad to see him out, as I don't know if has he made a football commitment yet that you know of?
I've been hearing NAU, but I'm not 100% sure if that's been finalized or if that's still just rumor.
That's good for him, as Golston with a long, and that's going to be a Comfort Fit Dentures three-pointer for Golston, and Golston leading all Bear scorers tonight, as Claire's going to throw it to Jones. Jones now gets it and throws it back to Claire. Slips out of Claire's hands and goes out of bounds, and is going to belong to the Bears. 26-14, Lobos up on the Bears, as Oberg and Coor are going to get set to check back in, as Claire and Jones are going to come out. And Coach, they have 10 on their bench, and from what I'm seeing, it looks to me like Coach Claire is going to play all 10, that they're pretty deep.
Yeah, and they're you're kind of forced to when you haven't had a whole lot of practices. Conditioning is a big factor in games like this, and so one way to kind of counteract the conditioning is to just play more guys.
Coach, are you telling me that football players don't come in conditioned like basketball players?
Right, little different tempo.
There's going to be a knock around, and that's going to be Golston with the ball. And Golston's we're going to get a whistle, and we're going to get a push. And I think that might be on Cody Flake again, as Cody picks up his second personal foul very quick here. As that's going to be on 32. That's going to be his second personal, and that is going to be the second team of the quarter. 4 minutes and 58 seconds left. Lobos up 26-14.
Yeah, just a big body in there, right? And so when he contacts
athletic body.
It's a different feeling when he contacts you compared to
he's going to let you know it.
That's right.
He is going to let you know it. But one thing I've been impressed with is the finesse that the Lobos are able to play with, but you can tell that they have the capacity right away to be physical. As we're going to get a whistle, and we're getting another blocking foul. Lobos racking up the fouls this quarter, and that's going to be on number 1, and I believe that is Christian Smith for the Lobos.
Yeah, and I think that physicality certainly comes from football and, just style of play. I know Coach Claire is a pretty aggressive coach, especially defensively. He wants, that intense pressure defense.
As we're going to get the ball, as Dees is going to come up. He's going to lay a reverse layup and in. That was a nice, almost made it look easy for the sophomore Porter Dees, as now Oberg brings up the ball for the Lobos. Oberg goes to his left. He's going to take about a 16-foot jumper. No good. Rebound is going to be by Porter Dees. Over to Golston. Golston now with the ball, directing traffic, as he's having Preston Dees come out, screens off. Brewer go to guard, as Coor now on the court, guarding Downs. Golston with the ball, guarded by Smith. To Dees. Dees at the free throw line. Now sends it to Golston. Golston out to... That's going to be number 23, Downs. And Downs drives. Downs is going to be fouled. Or they're going to call an offensive foul on Downs.
Yeah, that one's a little hard. I mean, and they have changed that, so I can understand why that call was made the way it was.
There has been a change?
Yeah, like now they've changed it. You don't have to have 2 feet on the floor squared up to the ball handler. You just have to be in a legal guarding position on that. So even though...
so we are going to see it. So the girls
so
game,
you should see more charges.
I did not
as
know that.
long as you're in legal guarding position. That was a pretty obvious elbow.
Yeah, we got a whistle and an offensive foul as well.
But on that play, I know that Brewer came up off the floor and looked like he was challenging that, but he kept his vertical plane. He wasn't getting into the offensive player.
Is that new this year?
Within a year or two. It's not new this year. I think it's 2 or 3 years. But that's kind of been a change in philosophy with it.
And it also does seem like that safety issue you talked about.
Yeah, what it does stop, it stops coaches from teaching kids how to hunt, players' bodies and to try to draw fouls, to kind of play the game a little more purely, I guess you'd say. But
as Golston goes in, misses his shot, it's rebounded by the Lobos, and as Gian Jones is bringing it up the court, Golston picks his pocket, takes it down and lays it up, so that drops the Lobo lead to 8, as now Jones has the ball at the top of the key. Over to Oberg. Inside to Irvin. Irvin now goes right, Irvin kicks it off the backboard. It's going to bounce off the back of the rim. However, we're going to have D's whistled for a foul. And that's going to be, looking in my book here, yes, it is his second foul, and that's going to be the fourth team. Both teams with 4 team fouls. Is the student section looking pretty lively tonight? Is the theme night, Coach? I never had these theme nights when I was in high school, but I think it's kind of good. As Irvin puts his first one up, no good. But the theme tonight is Jersey night, and I know that a lot of students down there wearing their basketball jerseys. I see some Lobo jerseys. I see some. I thought I saw a Dodgers jersey earlier. As Irvin's going to hit his second one. 27-18, 3 minutes and 27 seconds left. Very quick ball game tonight as Golston has the ball guarded by Jones. As Golston now at the middle of the key, now sends it out, and that's going to go over to Miguel. Miguel inside that's Preston Dees, number 50, and he puts it up for 2 points. And that cuts the Lobo lead back to 7 as Core now brings the ball down midcourt. Core to his right. That's going to be picked by Golston. That's Golston's second steal in about a minute. And Golston's going to go down, and it is going to be knocked away as a clean block by Gian Jones. Watch the replay on this, folks. As here goes Golston, and Gian Jones comes in and knocks that away. Not only does he knock it away, he knocks it away across his body with his right hand. Great job by him.
Yeah, a little too nonchalant there with the basketball, and really, really good effort by Gian to get back in that play. And
as now here's Dixon right with the ball at the top of the key. He's guarded by Core. He dribbles it through his legs, but off his foot. Now forward to Merrick Oberg. And Oberg for the dunk and misses it off the back of the rim. As Irvin's going to come down, Irvin's going to get it. We're going to get a block foul. You know, Coach, I have no problem with Irvin trying that because that student section was ready to erupt.
Yeah, that's
and so for them to be engaged.
Well, I'm wondering what they're talking about here. That seemed like a really clear block foul to me.
He shifted over a little bit, but I'm wondering if there's some action after that play. Let's look at it one more time while the referees sort it out, because it looked like at the end of the play, because here we go, here's the ball. That's the foul, but watch the body at the end of the thing and the throw and the elbow to the head.
Yeah, that was a pretty good one.
As Brewer's going to go to the line, and you know what? Great job by our replay team on catching that.
Yeah, because I didn't catch that, at least that kind of that hard fall and that kind of forearm right to the throat area. But, you know, Snowflake's been able to kind of stem this here. You know, Coolidge was making a pretty good run, and Snowflake's got himself to the free throw line, which has kind of slowed Coolidge's momentum here. They just got to make some of these free throws and be a little more comfortable.
3 of 10 right now from the line.
And I think that's definitely fatigue and football issues and things like that, right?
Brewer does make his second one, 28-20. Well, I know when you're not in shape and you're not in, and it seems to me that you do a lot more of the reaching. And I was always told, and I wasn't a basketball player, I was never anything special, but I was always told that's going to be D's. Preston D's put it up for 2. Is you play defense with your feet.
Yeah, and that's and you know, back when I played, everything was a foul if there was any touch, right? And they've let them get a little more handsy, you know, throughout the years and things like that. But I think that concept still holds true, right? You got to play with your feet.
As I think Brewer's going to be whistled in for a foul right there, and I think the officials right now are trying to make sure that they keep this game under control after that foul. Yep. So not a hard problem with it. However, that is the Lobos' 5th team foul, so the Coolidge Bears are going to go to the line with 1:57 seconds left, and it's only a 6-point lead for the Lobos. So we've got ourselves a little bit of ball game here as Porter Dees is going to go to the line, and he's going to get a chance. And Coolidge 1 for 2 at the line right now.
Yeah,
so
they've done a really good job getting back in this game. It was, 15 at 26-11, I think is where it peaked at.
As he gets his first one in, that's going to be 28-23.
Yeah, Snowflake's committed a few turnovers and some free throws, and they got a little bit of trap out of that zone, and Coolidge has handled that real well, got the ball right to the front of the rim and able to score it.
Second free throw is no good, and that's going to be hit, but Irvin's going to hit it to himself, and then he's going to pass it forward to Jones, who gives it back to Irvin. Irvin drives inside, and we're going to get a whistle, and we're going to get a travel as that back pivot foot slid about 2 inches forward, and the official out there catching that, and that's going to be a turnover by the Lobos, only up 5 with 1:46 left in this quarter, as Golston brings the ball across the time stripe, guarded by Jones.
An important possession here, I think, for both squads defensively. Snowflake's going to want to dig in and not give up anything easy.
As Golston hits to Miguel. Miguel shoots an air ball, but it's rebounded by Dees. Dees misses the fall-away jumper. It is followed by Bojorquez, and it misses. Now the Lobos have the ball forward, and it's going to be to Irvin. Irvin's going to put it in. It's going to miss. Rebound by the Bears. Here comes Golston. Golston pitches inside to Miguel. Miguel's going to get fouled. He's going to put it up, and Kaur is going to get whistled for a foul, and that's going to be 2 shots and a chance to chip in to the Lobo lead here, and that is just, I felt like that was a little bit of frustration, although I do like the physicality of it as Miguel goes to the line to shoot too.
Yeah, and I think those are kind of split-second decisions that defenders got to make, see if they can get up and pressure to get up there and kind of challenge that shot or not, things like that. And, now they're going to be able to potentially draw this thing within 3 if they get these free throws made. And, Snowflake, if they're going to want to be able to go into half with a lead, they're going to be disappointed no matter what that lead is, because they've given up the 15 points. But certainly they want to be able to keep if Coolidge is able to take a lead before half, it's going to give them a lot of momentum and a lot of confidence.
Well, the easy buckets that came in that first quarter have not been there. The Lobos have been what I like to call bouncing it off the rim or the lid on the rim, as Smith's going to get it knocked away, and then turnovers like that, they're forcing the ball in too much, and that's what, again, comes with games and practice. And I believe, do the boys go to their tournament this weekend, or is it next weekend?
They're next weekend, so we have a Sabino game on Friday night while they're at the tournament Flagstaff, the Pepsi tournament.
Are you playing Sabino here?
Yeah.
Okay,
Friday
so
night.
Sabino will be here. It'll be a girls-only affair, while the boys are going to go over to the Pepsi tournament, which they've done for a few years. This is going to be Dees, and this is going to be Porter Dees hits his first one, and that's going to make the Lobo lead 2 with a minute left here in this first half.
I think you're seeing a little bit of fatigue, and that's why you're getting a lot of the slaps, reaches, and
forced passes.
And the forced passes, and that's why they've been able to get to the free throw line here and really cut into this lead.
As Dees hits his second one, as 28-27, Jones to Kaur. Kaur, 15-foot jumper, no good. Rebound's going to hit. Jones is going to fall out, and that's going to go to the Bears, and the Bears have a chance to take the lead here. As Coach Clare has got to be frustrated with the not just the turnovers, but the effort on, they're giving good physical effort, but the things aren't just falling, and there's a little bit of frustration. I think there's going to be a few adjustments made at halftime as Golston sends it inside to Preston Dees. He puts it up, no good. Rebound is a jump ball, and that's going to go to the Coolidge Bears, according to the alternating possession. We are 34 seconds on the shot clock as well as 34 seconds on the game clock. Very rarely do we see those in unison as Dees inbounds to Golston, back inside to Dees, guarded by Flake.
Well, one thing, Coach Clare has been able to kind of keep everybody out of foul trouble.
As Dees is going to put it up, no good, and it's going to fall to the hands of number 20, and that's going to be Bojorquez, and that's going to give the Coolidge Bears a lead, 29-28, with only 14 seconds left, so the Lobos a chance to either be up or go down as they go into halftime. As here's Smith.
Yeah, and I think you can really see
as that's going to be stolen by Dees.
Yeah, Snowflake's really missing Landon Clare.
Landon Clare being their ball handler.
Being their ball handler and their decision maker, getting them into their offenses and all that type of stuff. And so you can tell they're just kind of struggling to get a good offensive possession in. And that's, your point guards ought to be able to help slow you down, make sure the ball gets to the right place in the right time.
Well, the Lobos have also done it off the help of 4 3-pointers. As there's the buzzer. So the Coolidge Bears are going to go up with a 29-28 lead. We're going to go ahead and take a break and come back and give us the halftime show, our Honda Ski and Outdoor halftime show. This is Show LaForge's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com.
Want the best deal on your new car, truck, van, or SUV? Go to Sholo Ford. Sholo Ford has the best deals. Not only does Sholo Ford sell the #1 truck in America, Guy Hatch guarantees you won't find a better deal on that truck anywhere else. Sholo Ford sells the best at the best price. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at SholoFord.com. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint now has 3 locations to serve you: Snowflake, Lakeside, and now Sholo. And with over 85 years combined experience in auto glass and over 40 years of combined experience in window tint, you can trust the experts at Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint with your vehicle. Call them today.
Just call 536-5972. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass, cash back to you.
Welcome to Horn Auto Center. Gobble up all of these savings with our Black Friday deals going on all month long, like our very last 2024 2500 Chevy Duramax, $7,000 off, and we have a half-ton 2024 four-wheel drive crew cab RST, $12,200 off. Come on over to Horn Auto Center on the Deuce of Clubs or go to hornauto.com. We are the GMC Chevy store that saved you more.
Northland Pioneer College is cheering for you on and off the field. Secure a win by enrolling in college courses at NPC. Earn college credits in high school, learn a new skill or trade. Complete classes that will transfer to any Arizona university. NPC has 3 new bachelor's degree programs and over 100 associate degrees, certificates, and areas of study to choose from. The playing field for your future is wide open. Take a shot and score big by enrolling in classes at NPC. Northland Pioneer College. Your journey starts here.
At Summit Healthcare, you'll find a level of care you might not expect from a rural hospital. We've recently received 5 stars from CMS, a prestigious ranking that less than 5% of facilities in Arizona earned. Our cancer center has proven its level of advanced care with a national accreditation from the Commission on Cancer. And we continue to add more doctors and services so that you don't have to leave the mountain to find the care you need. At Summit Healthcare, we're elevating care here at home.
Want the best deal on your new car, truck, van, or SUV? Go to Sholo Ford. Sholo Ford has the best deals. Not only does Sholo Ford sell the #1 truck in America, Guy Hatch guarantees you won't find a better deal on that truck anywhere else. Sholo Ford sells the best at the best price. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at sholoford.com.
When you think glass, think Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Deemer's Glass offers the best selection of quality glass with affordable prices. They do full home window packages, replacement windows, custom shower doors and enclosures, custom mirrors in many shapes, styles, and colors, glass doors and hardware, commercial glass for buildings and offices, skylights, screens, fire-rated glass for your fireplace or stove, window film, and more. Visit Deemer's Glass today on Porter Mountain Road in Lakeside or call 1-888-GLASSMAN.
You've been there, waiting forever at the gas station for the guy to free up so he can fill up your propane tank. Or worse, when the only qualified propane technician decided to stay home that day. Yep, you've been there and I have too. That's why now I get my propane from Ace Hardware every time. You get Ace Hardware's world-famous customer service when you stop in for propane. That's right, you get in, you get out, and you get a great deal on propane and everything else. From Ace Hardware at their locations in Pine Top and Heber. Ace Hardware is proud to support White Mountain Sports.
Hi, I'm Dr. Arno. I might not be comfortable on the basketball court, but I promise, at Comfort Fit Dentures, you'll feel comfortable. Always.
Comfort Fit Dentures has dentures starting at $499 with payment plans, and they have 2 labs, meaning you get your dentures in days instead of weeks. Call Comfort Fit Dentures today to schedule a free exam and x-ray. 928-888-0002. 928-888-0002.
Want to go skiing or snowboarding? Visit our friendly Honda Outdoor Sports. We offer skis, snowboards, and helmet rentals, custom footbeds, ski and snowboard repairs, as well as retail shopping for your snow gear, goggles, beanies, snow tubing, and even ice fishing supplies. We have all you need to prepare you for the outdoors. We welcome you to Honda Outdoor Sports, located 1 mile west of the casino.
Welcome back to Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com. We are ready for our Honda Ski and Outdoor halftime show for the best selection of hiking, camping, hunting, fishing gear. Go to the Honda Ski and Outdoor store north of Pine Top on Highway 260, just before you get to the Honda Casino. And we have ourselves a ball game, folks, as the Lobos had extended a 15-point lead at one point, and the Coolidge Bears have clawed back to make it a 29-28 game in favor of the Coolidge Bears. As I want to run down the scoring real quick, Jones for the Lobos with 7, Claire for the Lobos with 7. Irvin with 5. Brewer with 7. And Aiden Kaur with 3. Going over to the other side, Golston with 7. Bojorquez with 2. Downs with 2. Miguel with 4. Preston Dees, the big man, with 7. And Porter Dees with 4. So pretty balanced scoring for both teams. Advantage, however, is going to be the Coolidge Bears. And as we look for halftime, Coach Clare has got to make some adjustments. One of the things that Coach Brogan had mentioned in his halftime, before the halftime, was that they were missing Landon Clare. Landon Clare did a great job in that first half of being able to dish the ball. He does have 7 points, but more or less his defense and his leadership bringing that ball up the court has been missed. And also something that Coach Brogan had brought to my attention was that there's a little bit of frustration and a little bit of out-of-shape factor with the football players. You do have some of these young men who did not play football. We're not saying all of them did, and they've been practicing and getting together. But then you bring in this football team after almost a month of practice for the basketball players and making and mesh this team and trying to get them to play in unison. So buckle in for a second half, folks. We're going to have ourselves a good one. Before we go to our break for halftime, I'd like to run down our sponsors: Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce, Ace Hardware in Pine Top, Overgarden, Sholo, Honda Ski and Outdoor Sports Store, Northland Pioneer College, Horn Auto Center, Summit Regional Medical Center, Comfort Fit Dentures, and Mountain Mobile Auto Glass. Before we go to break, I'm going to bring Coach Brogan back in as he had a commitment he needed to go take care of. So, Coach Brogan, before I tell you anything on what I said, I want to get your thoughts on the first half.
Yeah, kind of up and down. I think you kind of the tale of 2 quarters. Snowflake's execution was really good in the first quarter. Offensively, they were able to get a lot of shots right at the basket. Second quarter, I don't know if Coolidge made an adjustment or what but they were taking some of those back cuts away, those back screens away, that where Snowflake was able to get the ball right to the hoop. And then some of those turnovers allowed, Coolidge to get back in the game. They got some easy shots, got some more confidence, and I think fatigue played a part in that as well. So
I don't feel like Coolidge was playing faster than the Lobos, but at the end of that quarter, it sure did seem like every possession was counting, and they were doing what they could to make it work. So, okay, first half, it's done. It's in the books, 29-28. The Bears lead. What do you see in the second half? What adjustment might Coach Clare make to get these Lobos back to that point where they were at?
Yeah, so, when I look at this from a coaching perspective, that late in the second quarter, Coach Clare, I think this is one of the benefits of having a lead, is he was able to sit some kids that had 2 fouls to avoid some foul trouble. And so you didn't see Landon Clare, you didn't see Asher Brewer for probably the last 3 or 4 minutes. So I think you'll see those kids come back, and you'll get a little more continuity and flow to their offense. I would expect Snowflake to come out, just kind of go back to what they were running early. They have that group of boys that didn't play football.
I did talk about that a little bit.
A little ahead of everybody else. So
before
those kids on the floor more.
Before we end our Honda Ski and Outdoor halftime show, I was going to kind of ask you, playing these preseason games that mean a lot, does it hurt you not having the tournament? Or
I think in a perfect world, I think Coach Clare would like to have done and gone to a tournament just to be prepared a little bit, because you get, and that's the reason we go down to Tucson with the girls and play in that.
It's an early tournament, yeah.
So we can get 5 games in. You can just kind of see who's, how the offenses are working, because you got all these ideas that you have when you're practicing, and of course everything looks wonderful in practice, and you kind of, but you don't know what to expect when you get into games.
Well, and as much as you want to win those tournament games, you're trying to see what your team has. It's kind of like a baseball team. They're taking their JV pitchers to see what they're going to give them. They're playing the center fielder at second base. I don't see it being much different as a basketball perspective.
No, it's exactly the same thing. We're playing all 11 of our girls when we go to the tournament. I know Coach Clare will play all the boys when they go. They'll try different lineups, see if one's better defensively, one's better offensively, and be able to adjust as the season goes to situations.
Well, and the other thing, too, I think that is we can talk about the X's and O's, but you also take your team, you get them out of town, you bring them together, you put them on their own. The crowds aren't huge, and so you just see a lot of positives going on in those games. So,
and we try to get out and go to a dinner together, and we were wanting to go to a movie down in Tucson, but I don't know. Girls are a little different. I don't know if they're watching some Netflix series or something. They like to go back to the room. They all watch some shows or something, but it's really good to develop those bonds and relationships between
I do
the
agree
kids.
with that. Well, folks, we're going to segue into the second half. This has been our Honda Ski and Outdoor Sports Show. For the best selection of hiking, camping, hunting, and fishing gear, go to Honda Ski and Outdoor, short north of Pine Top on 260. Just before you get to the Honda Casino, this is now Show LaForge's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com as the Lobos inbounds with the alternating possession. And now the Lobos are going to have it stolen by Golston. That's, I think, his third or fourth steal, as he's going to go up and in. He's going to lay in an easy layup, and he's going to extend a lead for these Coolidge Bears. And the Lobos got to be a little bit careful on what they're doing. They got to make every possession count in order to not just get back in this game, but play the ball that they're capable of. The Lobos go with the starters, as the first thing they do is they force 2 turnovers now to start this half, and that's not the way you want to start a half.
No, and they just look just a little out of sync. It's hard to run offense. It looks like guys are going at different speeds, and they're just not quite in sync yet.
This is not the same Lobo team that we're going to see January 10th against Valley Christian.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I expect them to be, much, much, much improved.
As that's going to be Preston D's going to put it up for 2, and that extends the lead, 5-point lead for the Bears. And Lobos out to Olberg, to Irvin, over to Claire. Claire looking to go inside, screen by Irvin. There's Claire going to pull up for 3 points, no good. Rebound Brewer. Brewer a little too far underneath to put it back. He's going to take one dribble and one step, and he's going to put it back. And Asher Brewer helping get the Lobos back in this ball game. 6 minutes and 47 seconds left. Bears up 33-30.
Yeah, really good job there. Not forcing that, getting that bounce, that dribble to get his body in good position to get that shot up.
Here's Miguel dribbling the lane. Miguel at the free throw line, passes it out to Dees. That is Porter Dees, number 52. Dribbled on the far side by Downs. Downs to Golston. Golston guarded by Coor. Golston now goes to his right, puts the ball on the floor, sends it back into Downs. Downs at the free throw line. Downs. Claire goes to the floor, knocked down, no good. Brewer, monstrous rebound there by Brewer. Over to Olberg. That is in line for our Deemer's Glass man of the game, Asher Brewer. And we saw our player of the game go to the losing squad last game. Maybe our glass man go either way as well. As there's Claire inside to Coor, to Brewer, up and in, no good. However, Brewer's going to go to the line to shoot a couple. Asher Brewer to shoot 2 free throws.
Really good pass there by Aiden Coor. Again, that's that helper play, right? Guy leaves to help on the ball. That guard's got to come down and get there. He didn't quite get there. Really good pass by Aiden to find him and earn some free throws for Snowflake.
As Brewer's first free throw is good. As Coach Brogan, I've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. No, I was counting my free throws. The Lobos not having a great night at the line as Brewer makes his second. Hopefully the second half. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Lobos were 3 for 10 in that first quarter. And I'm not a mathematician, but that sounds like 30% to me. And that is not good.
That sounds like a lot less than you want it to be as a coach, I'll tell you that.
But, Coach, in softball and baseball, that's a good batting average. As here comes a long court pass to Coor. Coor lays it up and in. Coor misses it up and in. Brewer's going to get the rebound, kick it out to Coor. Coor's going to miss a 3-point shot as Coach Claire is pointing back on defense as number 42, Miguel, gets way back for the Bears. Now Downs with the ball. Downs dribbles. He's at the free throw line to Dees, to Golston. Golston guarded by Brewer. Now kicks it out, and Dees is going to shoot a 3-point shot. That's going to be no good. It's going to be tipped by Olberg, but it's going to be tipped to the other team, and that's going to be Downs. Downs putting it up for 2, 35-32.
Coolidge is doing a really good job attacking the offensive glass, and it seems like they're getting every tipped ball is coming to them. Really good play there by Landon Claire.
Landon Claire inside to Brewer. Brewer lays it up and in for 2. And Coach Brogan, you say your game next week is Sabino.
Yeah, we play at Page, boys and girls.
Oh, I forgot you got the Page
Tuesday
game.
night, and then we're Friday. Girls are at Sabino at home, and boys are at the tournament.
So, kind of break away. We can watch the action here, but I kind of want to ask you about that Page team. They're always in the mix,
right?
And so that is a huge litmus test for your team going up to that. That's a 4-hour trip.
Yep.
That is a very hostile environment to play in. That's one of those old, newer gyms. When I say older, newer gyms, it's one of the older, when they built those gyms, they put those bleachers just way up into the rafters. It's even bigger than Winslow's.
Right, those big box
gyms. And the dead zone up top. And, they can fit a full court over those baskets. Or full court bleachers over those baskets as Claire throws it away, intended for Olberg. So you guys got to go up there and you just want your girls to compete and perform. And if they do I mean, you want to get the win, obviously, but if they do that, you can roll through the rest of your season.
Yeah, for us, we knew Chinley and Page. In my opinion, Chinley, Page, Tuba City are going to be three of the better teams from the North region, which makes them the three of the better teams from the state.
We had a chance to watch that Chinley. You faced them Tuesday. We had a chance to watch them last night, and you and I were talking at the halftime, and at one point I told you it was 29-1.
Yeah, that's just tremendous. I wasn't expecting that, but they're an immensely talented team. Their post player,
Dijon White
is tremendous.
Oh my goodness, she is all over the court, and she plays defense, and she is physical.
Yeah, and then Koayazi is a heck of a player too on the perimeter for them, which is Coach Francine's daughter. So they're built to be a really good team late in the tournament. We get a little different look going to Page.
How is Page and Chinley going to match up, Coach?
Yeah, different styles. Chinley plays a matchup zone, tries to make you shoot the ball from the perimeter. They'll take away your post game, the double, triple team when you get in there. Page is more of an in-your-face, man-to-man, really pressure man defense stuff. Page wants the tempo to be really, really, really fast. Where Chinley will want to get that ball into the post. So when those two teams play, it's going to be kind of a matchup of styles. So whoever executes stylistically is going to win that game.
Well, and Page seems every year to run the same as Irvin's going to lay it up, and then that's going to be a reverse layup. That's going to be no good, and we're going to get a whistle. And we're going to get a foul on Oberg. But Page seems every year they must run that system defensively and offensively top to bottom, because it's always consistent in what they do.
Yeah, and I've been told it's through their junior high programs as well. But Coach Claw is a former player from the 2010s when they won a couple of state titles. She went and played in college, and then they come back, and basically it's the same stuff. They're not hard to prepare for from a scheme perspective, but they're hard to prepare for athletic, quick, that type of stuff. So.
Well, and one thing I've noticed about the girls' game as opposed to the boys' game, as we're going to get, that's going to be Golston with the jumper, and it's going to be no good. As that's going to be Landon Clare puts that, and that's going to go to Jones, and there's going to be a whistle, and we're going to have a foul, and that's going to be 2 shots. There's one thing I've noticed about the girls' game versus the boys' game is if your girls' team is fundamental, you will win. And Page is very fundamental. Chinley's a little more finesse. Page is a fundamental basketball team.
Yeah, they're, in my mind, when you talk about fundamental teams, it's handling the ball, not turning the ball over, being able to run your offenses and get good shots. And that is, that's both Page and Chinley. But like I said, Page is just much more methodical about it.
Yeah. Coach Claude does a great job up there and has those girls at attention. And so I think that'll be a great job. You got to see how your girls perform going 4 hours. As Jones' second free throw is good. Lobos back on track with the free throw shooting. Now continue to be down 1. Have yet to take the lead this half as the Bears cling that 1-point lead. That's Golston bringing up the ball. Over to Downs. Downs drives the lane. No good. Out to Miguel. Miguel now drives in the middle to Downs. Downs puts it up, and that's going to be good for 2 points. Corbin Downs.
It's hard when you give up that drive and then allow that ball to come back into the middle of the floor with that pass.
As Irvin had the ball on the far side, and he basically has it, just puts it on the court, and Miguel just goes in and strips it away. Ball's back to Golston. Golston at the top of the key. Now goes to his right. Looking. Now back to Downs. Downs now at the top of the key. Spins, moves, 13-foot jumper, no good. Rebound, Jones. Jones to Clare. Here come the Lobos.
Both these teams, Golston for Coolidge and Clare for Snowflake do a really good job kind of controlling. You can see when the ball's in their hands, the teams tend to execute a little bit better, when they're attacking the baskets and all that stuff.
Well, one of the things is I didn't get a chance to watch the game at Chinley, but one of the things I was told by someone who kind of has a little bit of know in the basketball program said that Landon Clare looked like a general out there commanding things and pointing them. So I think as he goes this year, it's going to be good. As that's going to be Oberg feed it inside. That's going to be to Irvin. Irvin's going to lay it up. However, Irvin's fouled, but the bucket's good, and he's going to get a chance to go to the line and tie this game.
Yeah, it's a really good job throwing the ball into the post. Really good move by Brock there to get that ball up and get those 2 points. So
that's going to be no good. And ball goes out of bounds. And I just saw Micah Mountain. We've seen that Micah Mountain has defeated Arizona College Prep. I didn't catch the score.
Yeah, so that puts a smile on my face after doing that game last week. But my understanding is it was 43-14.
And that was an Arizona College prep team that was deemed almost unstoppable. So congratulations to Micah Mountain, our public school friends from the South. I don't want to get too, but the monster you face at the 2A, 3A, and now the 4A level is what I like to refer to as the triple C's. The Christians, the Charters, and the Catholics.
Yeah,
and all those schools are a little bit rough to deal with. And those who've listened to broadcasts, and I've done iTalk before, I'm not a huge fan. And one of the things that I do not particularly care for is I feel that the rules are different for the charter schools, the private schools, the Christian schools, and the Catholic schools. They just have a different way of going about the way they do education and the way they do sports. And in a few weeks, about a month away, we're going to have Valley Christian come here as Golston's going to put a really long three-point shot, and that's going to be a Comfort Fit Dentures three-point shot, and that gives the Coolidge Bears a 4-point lead as Claire comes down and messes up with it. We're going to get a jump ball as we're going to have a jump ball, and it's going to belong to the Bears, but that was a little bit dangerous as we had bodies fall on the floor and the team's coming in looking down. But Valley Christian has a very top-notch basketball program, kind of Scottsdale Christian, but it's the rules that are in place, and we got to deal with it. But congratulations to Micah Mountain on their 4A state title. It stays in Tucson for another year at least.
Yeah, I'm kind of with the same sentiment with you as there's got to be something done. You know, it's just there's some advantages for being a charter school, Christian school. You don't have school boundaries necessarily that affect you. Usually you're in the metro areas, so you got a bigger pool to pull from. Those schools tend to have a little bit more money than some of the public schools do. And I certainly understand it because I would be the first to admit that if we lived down in the valley, I know Coach Hagsman really well from Valley Christian over the years, and my kids would probably go to Valley Christian. So it's kind of hard for me to knock it, but I certainly understand why, like there's just some inherent advantages they have.
I had a discussion one time, and it was a friendly discussion, and a friend of mine was going through how Christian schools, they rely on the tuition and they don't have the money. And I had another friend who was talking about the charter schools and how their public schools, as that's going to be downs, and it's going to be blocked by Brewer, and that's going to be a foul, and I believe they're going to call that on Dixon Wright. It's because Dixon Wright undercut, and he falls to the floor as Brewer comes up a little bit limping as well. And that's going to be a foul, and that's going to put that is going to be their fifth foul. So Brewer's going to go to the line, a chance to add to his point total for the evening. But I was talking, and we were talking about, and a charter school, we're a public school, and all I said was, we get the kids to show up on our doorstep at Snowflake. And that's the area, and our area is huge, but we have the 900 students we have, and it's those that live in the boundaries come here. And you don't have to play by those rules.
Yeah,
period.
No, that's right. And when I've coached in Benson, small town, Show Low, Snowflake, St. David, those areas I've coached, and I can count on one hand how many transfer kids that we've had in my 25 years of coaching. And so the rural areas, people move to Snowflake because their families are here, right? Yep. That's why they come, and that's what makes Snowflake the great community that it is. But we don't get transfers moving for football, basketball, etc.
Coach, something interesting though is you talked about Benson and St. David. Isn't St. David just a suburb of Benson?
Yeah, it's 5 miles down the road, and
just telling you,
back city limit signs, and amazingly, we don't get kids that go from one community to the other. It's a little bit like Snowflake and Show Low in that regard.
Here's Golston with another three-pointer, no good. Rebound is going to be by Downs. Downs comes up, puts it up, no good. Now the rebound's going to give to Irvin. Lobos down 38-42 with minute 5 left.
And Downs did a really good job digging that rebound out. As a coach, you'd like to see him kind of get a little more under control when he's going back up with that shot. It looked like he rushed it a little bit, got himself a little off balance. But
as Brewer is going to be fouled, and he's going to go to the line to shoot two. As he missed his last two, as we're going to be just under a minute left, and we're going to go into this.
And Coolidge is just not able to extend this lead out because they keep, those silly fouls are keeping, Snowflake's able to get to the free throw line again and again and again and again, kind of slowing the game down for them. Now on the other side of that, though, is that Snowflake's got to make these free throws, given that opportunity in there. Like, what are they now? I mean, they got to be 6 or 7 for 20, I would think. But.
As Brewer does make the second one, and I have a little bit of a statistic on that one, Coach, is Snowflake has shot 19 free throws. They are 7 for 19, and that's not a stat that is favorable. As the Lobos a chance to tie with 47 seconds left, down by 3, as Jones looks. Now Jones at the top of the key. Jones inside the key, jumper, no good. Rebound is no. That is Miguel. I thought it was Downs. It was Miguel. My apologies to him. Golston with the ball. Shot clock is off. Golston crosses the time stripe. 22 seconds left, guarded by Jones.
Yeah, it looks like Coolidge is holding here for the last shot, and they got kind of that 1-4 low, so they got 4 guys on the baseline letting Golston kind of do his own thing. The nice take there. It went a little early, though. That gives Snowflake an opportunity to get a shot.
Who made that one? Golston with another point.
Oh, boy.
As we're going to go ahead and take a break, the Show LaForge presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com.
Want the best deal on your new car, truck, van, or SUV? Go to Sholo Ford. Sholo Ford has the best deals. Not only does Sholo Ford sell the #1 truck in America, Guy Hatch guarantees you won't find a better deal on that truck anywhere else. Sholo Ford sells the best at the best price. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at sholoford.com. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint now has 3 locations to serve you. Snowflake, Lakeside, and now Sholo. And with over 85 years combined experience in auto glass and over 40 years of combined experience in window tint, you can trust the experts at Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint with your vehicle. Call them today.
Just call 536-5972. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass, cash back to you.
Welcome back to Show LaForge's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com as the Coolidge Bears go into the fourth quarter up 44-39 on the Snowflake Lobos, as the Snowflake Lobos playing their second game after only 3 practices, which is something interesting to say.
Well, and that's, when Coach Claire and I sit down, preseason, we kind of talk schedules and stuff. Certainly football is a consideration, but, we were probably 2 weeks later than Sholo playing our first game as well.
I've noticed that. I noticed that teams were playing. I remember it was just the end of football season, and some of my officials friends that do basketball had said they had scrimmages already scheduled, and I remember hearing an announcement one day. I wasn't paying too close attention. Here's Core with the 3-pointer off the mark. Rebound is Golston, and they were saying that we're headed to the scrimmage in Camp Verde, and I went, whoa, when did that happen? As Golston puts it up and in, no good. Rebound, Core.
And we do appreciate that the boys are, willing to kind of acquiesce us a little bit to get some games in early. I know it's awfully difficult on them to have to play these games with very little practice, but it's difficult if we don't play the early games. We end up with 3 and 4 games
in a week
in conference play, and that's
just as exhausting.
Right?
Yep,
right.
That's kind of what happens in the baseball realm, is you lose your pitching, and I felt bad for some of our coaches doing that. As Golston with the ball, 7 minutes left, and it is 44-39. Did Brewer miss that one? Are we right on the scores? That's going to be a 3-point shot.
I feel like we did.
That's a Comfort Fit Dentures 3-pointer.
We did get a basket there to end just to start the quarter.
They'll figure it out. I'm just going off my calculations. As Lobos with the ball, Claire at the top of the key. Claire drives. Now Claire puts it up. I don't think that's going to be a foul on.
No, they called.
Or they called it a travel, a carry.
Yeah, Leroy over. He got the travel on the top end.
Got the travel on the top of the key. That's going to be a turnover. It's going to belong to the Bears. As I believe Miguel is going to inbound, and is going to inbound to Golston. Golston leading all scorers for the Bears. Golston having a great night. Golston in line for our Mountain Mobile Auto Glass player of the game.
Yeah, I've been really impressed with him. His decision making has been really good. He balls in his hands an awful lot, but he doesn't force too many bad shots.
Here's Miguel over to Golston. Golston on the near side in the corner, guarded by Coor. Golston left, Golston right. Guarded by Coor. He's get it out of bounds, sends it over to Dees. Dees posts up against Irvin.
Way to go. There's 5.
Backwards to Miguel. On the shot clock, no good. Rebound split taken away. And I believe that was number 23, Downs, puts up the ball. And he is whistled and fouled, or there's a whistle and a foul.
Yeah, and they just got to figure out a way to kind of secure that offensive rebound or defensive rebound there for Snowflake. They did a really good job guarding the basketball. They forced him into a late shot clock situation and a bad shot. Got 90% of it done, but you got to finish the defensive possession with the rebound.
Coolidge, a pretty good basketball team coming up here. This is going to be impressive of them to be, not only winning this game, but have the very much of an upper hand coming back from a little bit late. The Lobos going to have to use some of their late game heroics here. Somebody's going to have to step up and make a big shot here and there and get them back in this game. As Brewer puts it up and in, no good, and the Lobos are just struggling all over things right now. As Coach, I had said they're 7 of 19 from the line at 43, 44%.
Yeah, that's probably 38%. It's just up above, or maybe a little better than 38, but it's just short of 40. But yeah, that's the problem with that is, and I'm sure that's early season and just kids haven't taken enough shots yet. But like you said, they need someone to step up. I think Asher Brewer is the obvious.
Asher Brewer just stepped up right there, Coach, and put that one in as he cuts the lead to 7.
We may have missed the score because they still haven't corrected it.
Well, Coach, I just got a text, and it looks like we have folks listening in the East Valley, and we just have Lobo fans all over the place, as we know, coming in and seen as that's Golston. Free throw jumper, no good. Rebound is Downs, and back out to Golston with the fresh shot clock, and Golston giving the calm down. But one thing you've noticed over the last 10 years or so is Lobo Nation is very alive and ready, and we get a lot of hits, so we appreciate, although that's 5 closely guarded. And again, thank you to Lobo Nation, but I saw that 3 or 4 times the other night over at Winslow. Is that an emphasis that came in this year?
It's not. It's been around for a while. It's not something that they're emphasizing. I'm glad that it's being called more. We're more defensive oriented, and so we want to get up there and guard.
As Coor puts it up and in for 2, Lobos, what I like to say, chipping away. As we're going to get a whistle, we're going to drive. We're going to get an offensive foul, and that's that offensive foul that you talked about earlier in the game, and I see a little smile on your face with that one.
Yeah, that's a good job there by Asher stepping over. It looked, it looked a little soft to me in real time, but watching the replay of it, Asher did a really good job stepping in and taking that thing right in the chest, just like he's supposed to.
Brewer with 18 points on the night as the ball goes over from Claire to Jones. Jones now brings it to the middle of the top, guarded by Goldston. That is Brewer inside to Irvin. Irvin puts it up and in, and that is good for 2 points for Brock Irvin. And we're going to get a whistle. We're going to get a timeout. And Coolidge is going to do everything they can to squash this momentum. We're going to go ahead and take a break. This is Shola Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com.
Welcome to Horn Auto Center. Gobble up all of these savings with our Black Friday deals going on all month long, like our very last 2024 2500 Chevy Duramax, $7,000 off, and we have a half-ton 2024 four-wheel drive crew cab RST, $12,200 off. Come on over to Horn Auto Center on the Deuce of Clubs or go to hornauto.com. We are the GMC Chevy store that saved you more.
Northland Pioneer College is cheering for you on and off the field. Secure a win by enrolling in college courses at NPC. Earn college credits in high school, learn a new skill or trade. Complete classes that will transfer to any Arizona university. NPC has 3 new bachelor's degree programs and over 100 associate degrees, certificates, and areas of study to choose from. The playing field for your future is wide open. Take a shot and score big by enrolling in classes at NPC. Northland Pioneer College. Your journey starts here.
Welcome back to Shola Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com. We forgot to mention it, the Start of the quarter. This is our Northland Pioneer College tip-off. When it comes time to tip off your college education, tip it off at the college with the lowest tuition in the state. That's Northland Pioneer College. Locations in Navajo and Apache County. Northland Pioneer College. We'd like to thank our sponsors, Shola Ford, Ace Hardware, Honda Ski and Outdoor, Northland Pioneer College, Coronado, Summit Regional Medical Center, Comfort Fit Dentures, and Mountain Mobile Auto Glass. Rounding out our sponsors tonight is Golston, guarded by Jones. Jones, matching up against him, has actually done a really good job taking him. Golston, a very good ball player, and getting things. We're going to get a whistle, and we're going to get a foul, and that's going to be the Lobos' second team foul. Doesn't put him at the line. We're just over halfway through this fourth quarter. And the Lobo faithful do not like that one.
Yeah, I'm not, I think there was some contact on that pass. As a coach, I'd prefer them not to call it, even if I'm Coolidge's coach, because they'd kind of split that double team and got the ball to the other side of the floor.
As Golston with an air ball from the corner, forward ahead to Jones. Jones forward to Irvin. Irvin reverse layup, good. And that goes for Brock Irvin for 2 points for the Snowflake Lobos. Down 48-47, have erased the deficit back to a 1-point lead for the Bears.
And Brock, a really good job running the floor, getting out ahead and just going. And he's kind of that guy for the Snowflake Lobo basketball team. He plays with a lot of energy, a lot of passion. He's always running the floor, plays really, really hard.
As Downs sends it over to the far side, and this is going to be Downs is going to put a three-pointer through the net, and that's going to extend the lead to 4. 3 minutes and 30 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. As Jones is going to see the ball, Jones inside to Brewer. Brewer puts it up and in. That is good for Asher Brewer for another 2 points.
The ball's moving really well on the Snowflake side offensively. When they move the ball and they're cutting quick, they get good shots. So hopefully they can keep that up through the end of the game.
Coach, it seems like Coolidge is really spreading the court this half and allowing those shots to open up. And we're going to get a carry, and that's the second carry on him. And again, Coach, that goes down to that shuffle step and bringing your hand just above that ball. Now, I don't tell this to many people. Actually, I do tell it to a few, but about 20 years ago, I actually used to officiate basketball. Not varsity level, but some lower level JV and junior high type stuff. And that was one call that we used to call a lot back then is Jones. Gian Jones with a Comfort Fit Dentures three-pointer, and now the Lobos take a 1-point lead. Just under 3 minutes left here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, that used to be an automatic call, That's some
Porter Dees was 2. Well, then they went away from it for a while, and now it's trickled back down to a carry as Landon Clare, guarded by Downs. Clare to his right. Now Clare back to the left, top of the key. To his right, looking to drive. He puts it up and in. No good, and we're going to get a whistle, and we're going to get a travel. Turnover on Landon Clare.
That's a really tough call.
That is a very hard call. I don't know if we have a replay on that one or not. Here we go.
Looked like he looks. Landon did a really good job.
Oh, no, it looks like he did. We saw it. That was a good call by the official.
I thought he did a really good job drawing the foul in there. I kind of would like to, I think he did a really good job on that.
As Golston now brings the ball over the time stripe. He goes left, he goes right, guarded by Jones. As he almost came close to a carry there. Golston going in, and Jones gets it. And we're going to get it ripped, and we're going to have a whistle and a jump ball, which is going to stay with the Bears. Rather have him get it in now in favor of the Lobos.
Well, right. You don't mind that, especially on their offensive possession, right? It just gets the arrow to you for late game
And it also breaks up their momentum anyway.
Yeah, and they don't get a reset of the shot clock on the jump ball, so it doesn't hurt you.
As we're going to get a whistle, we're going to get a kick, and that's the same thing there. It's the kick, so that's a violation, so the shot clock gets reset.
The shot clock should be reset on that.
Which it is, as Golston's going to inbound the ball, and looking for Porter or Preston Dees, who have played a monstrous game underneath, as the ball is inbounded to Preston Dees. Back to Golston. We're going to get it. It's a lane or a baseline. He doesn't take his step. And he's going to sit there as Mr. Ashton, the official, going over to explain to the Coolidge head coach. And as you watch it here, that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, he was out of bounds, and
he came back
touched the ball
and came
establishing his position on the inbounds. So.
As Clare now over to Irvin. Gian Jones three-point shot, no good. As Jones comes in to try to get his own rebound. Dees with the rebound, and Dees kind of had to lean back, and then he let the ball go. It slid. Went off his brother or his cousin, I assume, and ends up in the hands of Golston, up 1 point with a minute 40 seconds left. And both Lobos, all their timeouts. So I look for a lot of stuff going on. Both teams at 2 team fouls. As Miguel in the middle, and he's going to give it to Downs. Downs to Golston. Golston drives. Easy to Dees, layup, good, and the foul as that's going to be Dees go to the line, and that's going to be Preston Dees for 2. Gets the and one, and that is not good news if you're a Lobo fan because the lead is now 3, plus a chance to take it more with 1:24 left. And Irvin getting some instructions there as that's going to be Irvin's third. That's going to be the third team foul. Coach Clare does have all his timeouts.
Yeah,
I wouldn't doubt he leaves any of them on a game like tonight.
Yeah, and a really good job there by Golston getting to the basket and drawing all the defense and gave it up. Really easy shot.
As Dees makes it a 4-point lead, 1:24 left. Here come the Lobos. As Jones brings it down. Lobos need a quick bucket here. As Clare guarded by Downs. Now Clare goes to his right. He's got a shot, goes in. Shot no good, and I believe they're going to say not a shooting foul. So that's going to be ball out for the Lobos. This time you have that inbound play that you haven't been able to work on in 3 practices that Coach Clare's probably pushed in a little bit.
Well, that's one thing you can lean back on summer is hopefully you ran some of these inbounds plays and you got one basic one you can do no matter what.
As the ball goes inbound, and it's up, we're going to get a whistle, we're going to get a foul. And I believe they said that one is on the ground too, and that is only the 13th foul. So the Lobos' seconds tick off, and they're only going to get the ball underneath as Core's going to be set to inbound it again. Looking for the same type of play to Irvin, and that is Porter D's 5th personal foul, which sends him to the bench after a great game. Porter D's with 6 points, but great job.
Yeah, he's got to be double-digit rebounds as well. Was a really presence inside for them offensively. Oh, they missed the
whistle, and we're going to have a warning on reaching over the boundary, or the end line, correct?
Yeah, and so you get one freebie, and now the next one will be a technical foul.
Technical. As there goes the ball inbounds to Clare. Clare brings it out to Jones. Jones, 3-point shot. That's going to fall off. Rebound, Brewer. Brewer back up and in. He's going to be fouled, and that's going to put Brewer at the line to shoot a couple.
Yeah, I'm not sure Coach Clare really wanted that shot, the first one, but really good job by Brewer to clean that up and to be able to go back and get himself 2 free throws. It looks like the other D's is fouled out.
We've got both D's fouled out, and that's going to bring that's number 44, and that's Malik Williams, and he's a freshman who has not been in the game tonight. Brewer at the line to shoot a couple.
Yeah, he's good-looking, long-armed
freshman.
Big-bodied kid. So I'm sure they got high hopes for him.
Folks, don't go anywhere because we got our Honda Ski and Outdoor post-game show. We're going to have our Deemer's Glass man of the game, our Horn Auto Center driver of the game, and our Mountain Mobile Auto Glass player of the game. And right now, the young man at the line who missed his first free throw is in line for a couple of those post-game accolades as well.
Well, and again, these free throws now with a minute left become so critical.
The missed free throws become a boil in the side. As we're going to whistle, we're going to timeout. We're going to take it to the Shoulder Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com.
At Summit Healthcare, you'll find a level of care you might not expect from a rural hospital. We've recently received 5 stars from CMS, a prestigious ranking that less than 5% of facilities in Arizona earned. Our cancer center has proven its level of advanced care with a national accreditation from the Commission on Cancer. And we continue to add more doctors and services so that you don't have to leave the mountain to find the care you need. At Summit Healthcare, we're elevating care here at home.
Welcome back, Shoulder Ford. Presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com as the Coolidge Bears up 56-53 with just over a minute left here in the fourth quarter from the Den at Snowflake High School. I'm Aaron Hewish, joined by Coach Mike Brogan on Jersey night in the student section as the Bears are going to get the ball underneath the Lobo basket with a fresh shot clock, up 3 points. The Bears into the bonus. The Lobos into the bonus because of the Bear foul situation. The Lobos still with 1 foul to give.
Yeah, and it's a 1 possession game, and so you're not wanting to, you're not worried too much about, shot clock. I mean, you're worried about the shot clock, but not worried so much about the game clock because you're going to end up getting the ball back regardless of what happens. Worst thing you want to do right here is give up points.
Yeah.
And so you want defensively just to dig in. If once Coolidge is able to get this ball and if they get it up to the half court, they're going to spread, hold clock, and run this down. And my preference as a coach is I just kind of want to let him do that, because 9 times out of 10, if you just play solid defense, you're going to force him to a really tough shot. You just got to rebound that, and then you go execute on offense, you get right back in the game.
Well, after getting the ball across half court, that spread has been interesting, and Lobo's looking to put some pressure on here again. This is where you hope that Summer comes in and you have the press, as the ball's going to be inbounded, and that's going to be number 20,
Picked it up.
as Golston with the ball. 54 seconds on the clock. The student section starting to get a little bit loud as Golston goes to his right. Now he brings it back out, and he's going to want Jones to come out on him as he now goes to the top of the key. Over to Downs. 16 seconds on the shot clock. It's a one-possession game to Miguel.
Really good job by
Ball now with Golston. Golston almost stepped on that back line as he dribbles and going to put up an easy bucket for 2, and that's going to give them a 5-point lead. Lobos 25 seconds left. Here comes Claire. Lobos got to get a quick bucket and a foul. As Claire goes to his right, he puts it up. He's going to be fouled. It's going to be on the ground. However, he's going to get a shoot too, as Landon Keller is going to go to the line to put in a chance to put in a couple.
Yeah, really good drive there, and with them being in the bonus, he's going to get himself to the free throw line. This is beneficial because it allows you to get your defense set up here if you make these free throws.
Actually, Irvin's going to the line. I had that.
What? They must have pushed Irvin into.
That must have been what it is, because
there must have been a push underneath.
I thought it was Claire as well. So Irvin's first free throw is no good. And that coach, I'm just going to say, is not even 50% at the line could be the difference in this ball game tonight.
Yeah, with Coach Claire, when he looks back at that, he'd certainly, he's going to be. The free throws are going to be definitely an area that's going to cause him a few hours of sleeplessness tonight.
We've got a full timeout. We're going to go ahead and keep it here for the end of the game. Keep in mind, we have our Honda Ski and Outdoor post-game show where we're going to announce our Deemer's Glass man of the game. Need glass for your home or business? Deemer's Glass in Lakeside is hands down the best place to call when you need quality glass at affordable prices. Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Call 1-888-GLASSMAN. Our Horn Auto Center drive of the game, the Chevy, Cadillac, and GMC store that saves you more, as long as our Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint player of the game. Again, our sponsors this night: Sholo Ford is our overall sponsor. Ace Hardware sponsoring our Keys to the Game. Honda Ski and Outdoor, our halftime and post-game show. Northland Pioneer College with our tip-off. Horn Auto Center with our player of the game. Summit Regional Medical Center with our injury report. Comfort Fit Dentures with our 3-point shots. And Mountain Mobile Auto Glass with our player of the game. Horn Auto Center is our drive of the half. So here is the Coolidge Bears set to inbound with 18.9 seconds left. Lobos with 3 timeouts, Bears with 1 timeout. So we'll see what happens. Inbound the ball to Golston. Golston guarded by Jones. Golston now double team. Coors going to get a hand on him, and Coors going to get whistled for the foul. And again, Coach, it's going to be, that's only going to be the 4th team foul. So that was the one Lobos to give. Down 4. The next one puts Coolidge at the line. And Coolidge has been pretty good from the line.
Yeah, and you'd want that foul to come a little earlier in that situation. Boy, what are they doing? That ball is supposed to be inbounded on the sideline or under the basket. At half court or under the basket. I'm not sure why it's going there. That was another rule change. They've shrunk the court to only 4 inbound spots on fouls, violations, and things like that.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
So yeah, inside the paint, the ball's supposed to go into the baskets. Outside the paint, outside the 3-point line, it goes to half court. Right.
The only time it goes to a spot is when it's like kicked out of bounds or when it's knocked out of bounds.
Yeah. Anytime it's touched and it's an out of bounds, it goes to that spot. So
whistle and a foul, and we're going to have the Bears go to the line, and that's going to be Golston, and he has not put up a free throw tonight, Coach.
Oh, that's surprising with as much as the ball's been in his hands and as many whistles as we've had tonight.
He does have 16 points on the night, but the Bears have spread it pretty good. Downs has 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 12. But very even scoring for the Bears. And while we get ready to shoot these free throws from Golston,
the clock's running. Why did they run the clock from 14-4 to 12-9? wonder if they didn't get it on when the clock didn't run. Oh, no, they just reset it to 14 now. Okay.
Coach, I've got 11 for 23 for the Lobos on the night from the line, and that's going to be a hard one for Coach Clare because that's not something he can control.
Right.
You can scheme all you want, but the free throw is a factor in this game. As Golston's second free throw is no good. Rebound Brewer to Clare. We're going to get a whistle. We're going to get a timeout. We're going to go ahead and take it. This is Shola Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com.
Want the best deal on your new car, truck, van, or SUV? Go to Sholo Ford. Sholo Ford has the best deals. Not only does Sholo Ford sell the #1 truck in America, Guy Hatch guarantees you won't find a better deal on that truck anywhere else. Sholo Ford sells the best at the best price. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at sholoford.com.
When you think glass, think Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Deemer's Glass offers the best selection of quality glass with affordable prices. They do full home window packages, replacement windows, custom shower doors and enclosures, custom mirrors in many shapes, styles, and colors, glass doors and hardware, commercial glass for buildings and offices, skylights, screens, fire-rated glass for your fireplace or stove, window film, and more. Visit Deemer's Glass today on Porter Mountain Road in Lakeside or call 1-888-GLASSMAN.
That was our problem last year with the girls, is always Chloe.
We're back. Shola Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com as Landon Clare is going to put up a long three-point shot, and we're going to get a whistle and we're going to get a foul, and that's going to be a jump ball. They're going to call that a jump ball. And there's a long three-pointer by Core, no good. Rebound by Brewer, back to Core. Core puts it up for three, no good, and the clock's going to run out. And that's going to be the ball game, folks. We're going to segue right in to our Honda Ski and Outdoor post-game show for the best selection of hiking, camping, hunting, and fishing gear. Go to the Honda Ski and Outdoor store north of Pine Top in 260 just before you get to the casino. And wrapping it up real quick, Coach, we have some discussion, so we might not be over yet.
Yeah.
But for all intents and purposes, the game is over, and we're going to put it as a...
Yeah, I'm sorry. If they're going to call this foul, they're going to have to put some time back on the clock, unless whether it's 0.2 of a second or 0.3 of a second.
Well, the Lobo faithful looking to... It is a 5-point game, and it looks like we're going to have some time put back on the clock, as I guess we're not going to go to our Honda Ski and Outdoor postgame show, but we'll segue into that right after, and Shola Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com, as Aiden Kaur is going to go to the line, and he's going to get a chance to put up, I'm guessing it's 2 free throws.
Should be 3. I think he got fouled behind the 3-point line. But
1?
It would be ironic if he makes all 3 of them here at the end.
Yeah, because... Aiden, the 3A East player of the... Or not 3A East. We're not in 3A. The 4A West Desert Sky Mountain View Conference player of the year, whatever they forced the Lobos into. As Kaur's third one is good.
That should be it.
As now we're going to go to our Honda Ski and Outdoor post-game show as, Coach, the story of the game, as I figured it out, the Bears shot 53% from the free throw line. They were 9 of 17. The Lobos right at 50%, 13 of 26. And the Lobos make a few more of those. It's a different ball game. Like you said, we play this in a few weeks. It could be a different ball game, but nonetheless. Now, first thing we have is our Deemer's Glass man of the game. And I'm going to go, see if you agree, Coach. I'm going to go with Asher Brewer of the Snowflake Lobos.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. He did a really good job, especially on the offensive glass. Multiple offensive rebounds, defensive. I'm sure he had more than.
He had 18 points unofficially.
And Asher had 18 points as well, and all of those are in the paint.
Yeah,
so,
and some free throws. So
I thought he played real well tonight. Minus he's going to have some regrets on the free throw shooting, but everything else, I thought he was really strong and
he did well.
Played a really good game tonight.
Need glass for your home or business? Deemer's Glass in Lakeside is hands down the best place to call. We need quality glass at affordable prices. Deemer's Glass in Lakeside, 1-888-GLASSMAN. Congratulations to Asher Brewer, the Snowflake Lobos, in a little bit of a losing effort, 59-56. Is our glass man of the game. Now, our Horn Auto Center drive of the game coach, I'm simply going to say the second quarter where Coolidge erased that entire deficit and came to play their ball game.
Yeah, I think that definitely was the change in the game tonight. Sholo took a 26-11 lead, mid to early second quarter, and Coolidge was able to get that erased by halftime.
And that's our Horn Auto Center drive of the game, the second quarter for the Coolidge Bears, where they went up and won at halftime. The Chevy, Cadillac, and GMC store that saves you more. Horn Auto Center. Now we have our Mountain Mobile Auto Glass player of the game and coach. He was all over the court. He played defense. He got a few fast break points. And I got to go with Torrey Golston of the Coolidge Bears, the junior.
Yeah, I think that's right on. He did a really good job controlling the tempo of the game. Ball was in his hands. If Coolidge had the ball for 20 minutes, the ball was in his hands for 15 of them.
Yeah, it seems that way. So. He ends up the night with 16 points, 0 for 4 at the line, which is a little bit interesting. So, Torrey Golston, you are our Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint player of the game. We'd like to run down our sponsors one more time. Sholo Ford, Ace Hardware, Honda Ski and Outdoor, Northland Pioneer College, Horn Auto Center, Summit Regional Medical Center, Comfort Fit Dentures, and Mountain Mobile Auto Glass. For our producer and our camera, I'm Aaron Hewish, Mike Brogan, your final from Snowflake High School as the Coolidge Bears defeat the Snowflake Lobos by a final of 59-56. This has been Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com.
This has been Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk 1067 KNKI Pinetop and iTalk1067.com. Brought to you in part by Northland Pioneer College, Ace Hardware of the White Mountains, Deemer's Glass, Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint, Summit Healthcare Regional Medical Center, Horn Auto Center, Honda Ski and Outdoor Sports, and Comfort Fit Dentures. This broadcast has been a copyrighted production of iTalk 1067 and Country Mountain Airwaves, a Kopaniki communication station. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or use of this broadcast without the express written consent of iTalk 1067 or Country Mountain Airwaves is strictly prohibited. For more information on this game and other games around the region, go to iTalk1067.com.